Going live. Going live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Crypto Mining Morning Show, your one-stop shop in the morning for all things cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency mining related. Of course, it has a focus from the perspective of GPU miners, with, of course, a little bit of ASICs thrown in, a little bit of NFT, a little bit of everything, because, you know, if you're going to be mining, I think you should be aware of pretty much everything that's going on. So we'll try to cover what there is out there. Today, I didn't pull a ton of articles. I'm going to be honest. It's Fridays are rough. Really, Thursdays and Fridays are extremely rough as far as like timing. I'm driving all over the place. Good news, I do go to San Antonio on Thursdays, which means I checked my PO box, and there was a little gift. Let me show you. Posted a picture of it, but we finally got our first HNT hotspot miner here from MNTD, and we will be able to review it, which is cool. It's neat because they did send me the gold one, which apparently is a limited edition here, and I'm stoked to finally have gotten one. So that was in the mail. We also got two 6600s in as well, and I did pick up, so my monitor had died. We talked about that. I did pick up a 4K monitor for back here, so all of the guides and how-tos basically will be passed through 4K. And so I think upgrading the resolution is going to help with like zooming in on certain things, getting better clarity, etc. for you all. That's kind of the goal there. Today, after the live stream at noon, cashing out Flux video will be coming out. Then we also have clips, just tons of clips. I'm trying to figure out how I want to manage clips. I'm going to be talking about it maybe in the Rocket Chat with some of the viewers. Maybe we'll talk a little bit here at the end, but I'm excited to get that hotspot miner going. The other issue we're having is this camera for the live streams overheats at 4K, and I'm still saving up for that new camera. It's going to be a while. We'll see what happens. We have potentially 2 new sponsors that we're going to be onboarding next week. So look out for those. At least one of them is going to have some pretty good deals for crypto. So definitely stay tuned for that. The other one should just have some good deals, hopefully. I'm still working those out. Before we get into it today, as always, we're going to start with the sponsorship section, and that is going to be GamerSupps today. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with GamerSupps. GamerSupps provides a healthy alternative to sugary energy drinks with delicious flavors like Misfits Melon or my favorite Blue Raz. I use the GamerSupps as an alternative to support my active lifestyle outside of content creation. Caffeine-free options are great for late-night gaming after the kids have gone to bed. And my favorite part about GamerSupps is that they accept cryptocurrency. And for a limited time, when you purchase a tub with cryptocurrency, you will receive a Bitcoin shaker. Follow the affiliate link in the description, and don't forget to use code SOAT at checkout. Boom! Make sure you guys use the affiliate link down below. We get a couple $100 a month off of them. It's not the best partnership as far as revenue, because obviously that is going to go to primarily things like crypto related. But I prefer not having crypto related ads. That's what I prefer personally. They just pay less because obviously the crypto related ads do. I just feel like crypto related ads add in a whole bunch of extra stuff that I have to pay attention to personally and make sure that they're on the up and up. It's a lot more difficult. I've been testing one for actually a little bit here that we may be signing on or onboarding another crypto one. It takes a lot more because I feel like I have to vet it more. I'm more comfortable with non-crypto ads. So definitely support those ones if you can, because I think it's better for the channel as well. And there's less conflict of interest, etc. Let's go ahead and hop into the article from Video Cards. NVIDIA might be preparing a GeForce RTX 3060 Ti with a GA103 200 GPU. All right, so NVIDIA Studio driver released earlier this year included a new graphics card that has not yet been officially released. So as it turns out, while only some IDs were included, the 511 Studio driver itself listed a new ID attached to the RTX 3060 Ti graphics card. The new ID of 2414 appears to match the PCI device family of GA103 GPU, the new GPU for RTX 3080 Ti laptop GPU. There were rumors that NVIDIA might be preparing two variants of this processor, the GA103S for laptops and the GA103 for desktops. The RTX 3060 Ti would therefore be the first desktop variant. The fact that the RTX 3060 Ti might be getting a G103 GPU, GA103 GPU, that's a mouthful, has already been recorded by PCI Device ID database maintainers who have included the new SKU into their list. What this means is that we are now getting a third variant of this popular desktop GPU after NVIDIA release of the Light Hash Rate Edition a half year ago. So you can see, I think it's right here. And then the mobile. So don't get confused. This isn't just mobile. This is also a G103 version of the 3060 Ti. And so that is going to be relevant, obviously. The RTX 3060 Ti has been the least supplied model in the RTX 30 family. Some board partners have told that they have not seen a shipment of this SKU for months as NVIDIA prioritizes more expensive RTX 3070 variant, also based on GA104 GPU. With the release of a new GA103 model, NVIDIA might finally have a chance to meet demand for this very powerful mid-ranger simply by using two different GPUs. It is unclear what could possibly GA103 I think it is unclear what could possibly GA103 be offering. That is an awkward sentence. In terms of overclocking headroom, power consumption, or simply efficiency. After all, it is still made using Samsung and 8nm process technology, but the GPU reportedly features 7,680 CUDA cores in its full implementation. So the RTX 3060 Ti would only utilize 60% of the silicon. It should only be a matter of time before NVIDIA launches RTX 3070 with the same GPU as well. According to the known leaker, Copite7Kimi on Twitter, I assume, this new RTX 3060 Ti variant is to feature the GA103 200 GPU. This new processor is to feature the same specs as the GA104 one. So we're looking at more stock. I don't think that we're looking at a huge improvement in performance. I think what we're looking at is essentially additional stock via basically utilizing another board off of the manufacturing line here. The question will be, of course, if it comes with light hash rate, which I assume it would be. And then, of course, if basically they will be able to hit that $399 price mark, which I highly doubt at this point. So it's kind of where we're at right now as far as a new variant. Hopefully, like I said, the positive to this would be that we get more stock of the RTX 3060 Ti's. That being said, like as far as the light hash rate versions of them, I haven't messed with them. I don't have any in stock or anything. I'll try to get one of these in. The only 3060 Ti I have is non-light hash rate. And obviously that one was pretty incredible. Still remains to be pretty incredible for mining, definitely. And then, of course, I have a bunch of 3070s primarily because obviously good for mining. While the 3060 Ti was, of course, preferred during the light hash rate launch or the non-light hash rate launches of these GPUs, the 3060 Ti was a lot more scarce than the 3070, and it quickly became apparent that it was more easily attainable to grab the 3070, get pretty much the same power to hash ratio out of it for the most part, maybe 10 watts more, 5 to 10 watts more on bad versions or whatever, and then just move on. So anyways, more stock. Hopefully we'll see what happens from there. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the big mining companies that are going public amid a Bitcoin slump. Obviously, I tweeted last night, does it look like a Bitcoin dump? The reasoning behind that primarily was everybody calling Bitcoin dumps for today. Those dumps that were coming are primarily, based around large institutional investing. This is going to be a problem for cryptocurrency in general for the foreseeable future. The key here, I think, at least from my perspective, is to continue to mine, continue to accumulate, and pretty much ignore the daily pricing outside of trying to, of course, pay the bills, which is becoming increasingly more difficult due to, of course, the down markets compounded by the inflation rates of the US dollar. At least that's what I'm experiencing. Groceries are getting expensive. Everything's going crazy. Anyways, the big miners here that are trying to go public and get outside investment are having some issues, and this article is coming from CoinDesk. Production numbers for the next few months will be crucial for miners going public soon. Crypto miners that are slated to go public soon are likely to face a tough few months following the recent drop-off in Bitcoin's price and the broader crypto market. The slump in crypto prices could affect companies such as Core Scientific, which is planning to become a public company through a merger with Special Purpose Acquisition Company, SPAC, Power and Digital Infrastructure Acquisition Corp, and Bitcoin miner Rhodium Enterprises, which is planning an almost $2 billion IPO. Bitcoin prices have fallen more than 30% since reaching an all-time high in November, and investors and the number of miners going public have subsequently slowed down. Quote, there are a number of SPACs and IPOs that will look to close in the first half of 2022, such as Core Scientific, PrimeBlock, Rhodium, and Grid, end quote, Luxor's mining co-founder and chief operating officer Ethan Vera said. These companies looking to go public not only face a correction in crypto prices, but also an increasingly crowded market, he added. And I think that's a really important one to take into consideration. Luckily, GPU mining is still not swamped with companies going public. Most of the perception around GPU mining in particular is that it has a short lifespan left on it. And I couldn't tell you essentially if that is a correct assessment or not, due to the fact that we really don't know how things are going to shake out with the Ethereum merge, of course, along with the whatever coins come into play that are mineable post Ethereum merge. But from the perspective of the everyday guy, ASICs mining is quickly being taken over by billion-dollar companies. And because of this, it's going to be very hard for anybody as far as grassroots to get into participating. Now, where I see people participating outside of that is obviously like consulting for these firms. So familiar with the hardware, networking. I think like your biggest bet, like if I'm going into looking for a job within cryptocurrency right now, especially mining, what I'm probably going for is like network engineering. And then from there, getting in with a company and working for them. That's probably not going to be as fun as being able to go independent. So, you still have your moonshot at the GPU mining. You could start investing into ASICs. It's hard to compete when they're buying so much. It's so cheap. And then if you're buying individually, you're stacking like one Bitcoin miner for 11K when you know that they are not paying anywhere near 11K to stack 33,000 miners and then put it into a public IPO that they're getting investment from. It's crazy. And this market is getting crowded, especially the Bitcoin mining market. It's going to continue. Adapt or die, I suppose. I don't know how you adapt in the ASIC market necessarily. I am looking forward to seeing what Jack Dorsey's company does with power and efficiency on ASIC miners and how he's going to handle distribution. I think that we need something other than Bitmain. We've been crying this from the rooftops for forever. We definitely need more production of ASIC miners. We need something cheap that people can run in their homes as well, which I think Jack Dorsey was talking about with that block project. That's probably pretty far off, unfortunately, but these large firms compared to mass distribution across a whole bunch of, in like not like residential housing. I'd prefer the residential housing form of this, right? So unfortunately, this is kind of where we're at though in the market. But I don't really feel bad for these big companies that are going to have poor evaluations of their IPO because they always seem to want to go public during a bull run and take a whole bunch of people's money and then shut down after that, or just continue to ride their miners. It's just, it kind of feels gross. Stronghold Digital fell more than 50% since its trading debut in October on the NASDAQ. Meanwhile, another miner, Iris Energy, also declined more than 50% since going public in November. We've talked about them before. Gwyneth Paltrow-backed Bitcoin miner TeraWulf, which was a SPAC play, fell in its trading debut in December, and the shares have traded sideways since then, according to TradingView data. With Bitcoin's price falling more than 30% since reaching its all-time high in November, and competition expected to rise as the network hash rate increases this year, investors will be eyeing miners' valuations and their growth strategies. Companies that can distinguish themselves in the increasingly competitive sector will be ultimate winners. In order for these new companies to retain their proposed valuation when trading, they will need to find ways to differentiate their businesses from the existing operators, Vera said. He also noted that production numbers from the companies for January and February will be a strong indicator where these companies will likely start trading when they go public. However, for investors to really pay up for a company, they will need to see more longer-term strategy from the company, said Eric Risley, managing partner of crypto mergers and acquisitions firm Architect Partners. Risley added that crypto miners that can operate most efficiently are most likely to thrive amid crypto market fluctuations. Quote, "We believe the mining haves and have-nots efficiency of operations will reveal themselves in the next 24 months, and the haves will enjoy stronger valuations and strategic flexibility and growth options," he said. These strategies aren't very difficult to implement for the most part. It will be a bit of investment, right? And the big winners, in my opinion, are going to be like Iris because they have the energy company to back them. Unfortunately, what this ends up turning into to be most efficient is going to be energy companies starting mining firms, and then they're going to have that underneath them. And anybody else that's trying to compete that needs to go through one of these companies to obtain energy are going to be at a severe disadvantage. And basically what we end up with as far as Bitcoin in the next 10 years, from what I can see, if it continues to go down this path, is the energy companies completely controlling the mining period. And that's going to be a problem, because the energy companies already, if you have been around, right, from my perspective, and I think the public's perspective in general, is that they are pretty scummy. They hike rates, already without proper warning. For example, in Texas, they not only, do rolling blackouts that shut you down, and in California, but then they immediately follow that up with charging you more for your energy. And so they're pretty much beholden to no one. They control everything. And because of their access to the power grid, these partnerships where they end up starting their own mining company means that the public will never be able to compete. It's going to be a problem. All right, let's go ahead and get out of the doom and gloom and talk about more doom and gloom, which is my poor profits. So we're down to 220 for the day, 0.06 ETH at not this. Our average has been down about a gigahash. It's coming back up. I had my 3090 rig down for like 6 hours. Here's the weird thing. The miner just stopped. No errors. The mining just stopped, LOL miner, and the rig remained running. So because of that, I didn't have hash rate watchdog on. I will be setting hash rate watchdog on. I messed up. It didn't reboot. I'm down quite a bit in revenue compared to what I should be at. And it hurts. It hurts. But we also did take a couple rigs off. We have one rig or a couple rigs on Flux, which is not doing good. It's time for me to move to pools, probably. I technically have, let's see, 6. So it's been 7, 8 days. I technically have 2 more days that we're going to solo mine. If we don't find a block, then we are moving it to pool mining, and we'll move all of our Flux to pool mining. And then we do have our Ton pool, which, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Stats. I think we're at like 24 gigahash a second, almost 25 gigahash a second. And that has resulted in, let's see, let me check this. It's hard to track this a little bit because you do it in the Telegram deal, but we've been we've been over a day now at this point, a little over a day, and we've mined 12 ton with 24 gigahash. At the current exchange rate, let's check it on one of the bridges, I suppose. And we're going to talk about this too, because some people pointed it out. It is true. There is an issue that we're going to have, but that's 366. So calculator, 3.66 times 12, $43 for basically one rig, 12 GPU rig, RX 6000. All right, so let's talk about this. The Ton network, which we're going to be covering, I think it's tomorrow. But the bridge fee is 5 Ton plus a 0.25% amount for pretty much bridging no matter what. Unfortunately, because of geographical restrictions, this is the main way that people will need to liquidate their Ton. There are non-KYC exchanges, We've talked about what people do to access those in restricted geographical locations. I do not recommend that, nor is that financial advice. That is just an observation. As far as this channel and what we'll cover, we'll be covering this. That being said, of course, your strategy in general is going to be stacking a ton of TON. And the reason you're going to be stacking a ton of TON before you do a transfer is that always on 5 TON fee. So if we calculated that out, the 5 times 366, that would be right now $18.30 to swap it out. If you want to get that like sub 1%, of course, I guess you'd multiply this times 100, right? You would basically want to stack, and then let's divide that by 366. You want to stack 500 TON before cashing it out or swapping it to have less than a 1% fee. Just a note. All right. And that's actually not that hard to do, by the way. Take a look at what to mine for the RTX 3090 and calculate out these numbers. We are looking at $4.78 a day after power on Ethereum with Cero, Ycash, Equilibria, Conceal, and Flux falling behind it. It currently does 4.4 gigahash out of the box on TON, which would be $4.69. 10 cents a kilowatt hour. So Ethereum's still more profitable on the RTX 3090. Let's go ahead and check the 2080 Ti, our Flux Superstar, and see if it is still more profitable on Flux, which it is at $2.42 a day, with Ethereum falling behind into actually third place at $2.25 a day. They do not have 6600s listed yet, but they do have the 6600 XT. Ethereum is at $1.39 a day. If we took a look at TON, it would be 1.7. It's pretty easy to go ahead and snag with an overclock. That's going to be $1.69 a day. So you would get 30 cents more a day on TON with the RX 6600. This seems to be true across the board, with the 6000 series being more profitable on TON. Other coins, obviously down here, Equilibria, Flux, Conceal, Cortex, and Ryo. Keeping in mind that some of these are dead projects, and you need to be careful when choosing one to mine. All right, mining pool stats. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we've changed anything as far as difficulty or hash rate here recently. Looks like there was a drop off. Oh, it's coming back. We had already seen this one though, right? No, it did happen today. From 200 exahash, it looks like about 10 exahash dropped off the network and it's starting to build back up. I don't know when that happened though. Let's take a look at Ethereum. No huge changes in Ethereum. Let's take a look at Flux. Flux is about up 0.1 mega solutions a second. So it's steadily growing. That steep incline in difficulty definitely making it to where it's not possible for me to solo mine anymore. At this point, let's take a look at Ravencoin. My understanding is Ravencoin is finally above at least 50% of the previous profits since the halving. You see the hash rate is steadily declining, except for whatever just happened here on hashcity.org, but steadily declining. We're at 6.64 terahash a second. We were up to almost 10 terahash a second at one point immediately prior to the halving. We'll have to keep an eye on it and wait till it settles before we really have a good idea of where the profitability is going to be for Ravencoin. until the next halving, right? So that's kind of what we're waiting on. Let's take a look at Ergo. Ergo, we've been talking a lot about and still waiting on more information. GetBlock is the only pool that has really responded as far as how they're going to handle the voting. And I don't even think they're really in the top. Yeah, they're number 9. So while GetBlock has specifically said that they are going to allow individual miner voting, and they have the contract code in place to enable this, unfortunately, they are number 9 on the list. If you guys are currently mining Ergo and you want to support a pool that is basically allowing miners to individually vote on the upcoming EIP 27, and please just go. I don't usually endorse pools, okay? I just don't. But because of their stance, how quickly they are getting on top of it, the communication that I've had with them, they are very open, willing to work with the miners, and clearly are the only ones currently that I see that have everybody's interest in mind and want to give everybody a voice. So if you're on Ergo, go ahead and give GetBlock a try. I'm sure the profitability may be a little bit lower. I don't know for sure, but support that pool. That's how I feel about it. Let's go ahead and move on to mining pool profits for Ethereum. Last 90 days, mining pool hub in first, crazy pool in second, Ethermine in third. Last 60 days, mining pool hub in first, flex pool in second, and crazy pool in third. Last 30 days, crazy pool in first, mining pool hub in second, and flex pool in third. Last 21 days, crazy pool in first, mining pool hub in second, and flex pool in third. Last 14 days, crazy pool in first, mining pool hub in second, and ZET in third. Last 7 days, mining pool hub in first, 2 miners in second, and flex pool in third. Last 3 days, flex pool in first with 2 miners in second and Ethermine in third. And for the last day, ZET in first with crazy pool in second and flex pool in third. While this is a great tool to utilize and the developer of the website is awesome and you should definitely go show support, it is important to note the caveats and the most important factor, which is going to be amount of stale shares, which is directly related to your ping to whatever mining pool you're on. Please check out my video on how to reduce stale shares to test that for your particular situation and go with the lowest one there. Typically, stale shares, lack of stale shares, basically, will compensate for a majority of lost revenue unless you're getting out of like that top 5 of mining pools, like on Hive, for example. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Asic revenue for the day. As always, the KD6 is in first place, still making the same profit, with the KD5 coming in second, still making the same profit. And then, of course, the Ethereum and the Silicon A11, which is, on its way out maybe. Antminer L7 at 87.22 a day. Coming in pretty much in third is where I would put it, because I'm going to ignore the Silicon A11. And then from there, I think your best buys are these micro BT What's miners. They're just doing great on pretty much anything, but is what it is. Antminer S19 Pros are up in revenue, and it looks to be based on BTC V2 and NPool SHA-256. So this is interesting for sure. This is actually a huge bump in profit. For those of you that are running AMP miners, maybe take this into consideration. Bitcoin Vault Mining. Okay. Bitcoin Talk. Here's the website. Let's take a look. Okay. I'm a little confused. Bitcoin Vault, 569 USD. Are there any exchanges? Where is it pulling the price for this? $5.60, but where is it pulling the price from? Is there a coin market cap for it? There we go. Graviex, Finabox, and Vindex, with really the only volume being on Graviex. All right, got it. Probably a little weird there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that other one that was interesting as well, that was in the $50 range, which was... Oh, and it just went down to $39. So that was quick. N-Pool SHA 256. It's a multi-pool where you can mine different coins on. Okay, so that's just basically SHA 256, right? So pretty easy there. Something happened with BTCV. It appears to be pumping. Should you mine it? I don't know. Maybe if you just have one Bitcoin rig. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at, where was it? We already covered TON. All right, so we've covered everything for today. Let's get into questions and answers. Priority for questions will be, of course, super chats, followed up by tagging at Son of a Tech. It makes it orange in my chat and makes it easy to read. The easier time I have at reading it, the more likely I am at answering your question. That's really the only reason behind this. So the as far as like the super chats go, not needed, always appreciated, but they are easier to read and notice, obviously, because it goes when it blows it up and highlights it. And then tagging the at Son of a Tech makes it orange. So there we go. Somebody did say, Kai Oni said, check out inflation in Argentina. Argentina inflation, 5 hours ago? Inflation in Argentina jumps 50% in 2021, becoming the last figure in Latin America, the highest figure in Latin America. Rough. So they're going to turn into a Bitcoin city as well, right? Or Bitcoin country. All right. Detroit Iris says, at Son of a Tech, the TON mobile wallet has some exchanges built in with Uniswap and OKEX coming soon. OKEX is what I was hearing there. As far as the mobile wallet, when you say exchanges or Uniswap, I guess you still have to bridge over to that, right? I'll check it out. Thanks for letting me know. I'll download the mobile app and see what's going on. MC says, at Son of a Tech, good morning. You set up your gold spot yet? No, I have not yet. And then as far as antennas, I need suggestions on what I need to do for an antenna, or I guess like I have some, but they're all like interior antennas. As far as I understand, it's something that we need to, I guess, have basically like an outdoor version of, and then I don't know exactly. So we'll see. But I already showed it off. Any news on Firo? Not really any news on Firo that I've seen. Scott Schultz says, at Son of a Tech, Am I Satoshi? No, I don't. I'm not much of a developer, to be honest. I've always tried. I'm a script kiddie, though. Altered Component says, at Son of a Tech, no question. Just want to say we appreciate you. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you guys as well, because I get to do this for a living, at least for now, which has made the last year pretty incredible. Aggregator Visuals says, at Son of a Tech, is Flux affected by light hash rate? No, it is not. Andre Mora says, at Son of a Tech, do you think the 1660 Ti is good to mine Flux? I haven't tested it yet. I'm leaning towards leave them on ETH right now, though. Polycraft says, no bridging to the OKEX. I know that. Okay. I did, but I don't know how that. Okay. All right, let me figure this out. So that you can't. OKEX is available now through the mobile wallet. I guess you would just sign up. I'll look into OKEX and we'll go from there. Joel Reyes says, at Son of a Tech, how's the Flux node coming along? I need a lot of Flux for that. That's like a $3,000 thing. I can't afford that right now. I mean, even if we did a base model, isn't it like 1,000? Which is at like $3 a day. That's like $3,000, dude. I have a lot of mining to do. And I already utilized like 100 of my Flux to make a guide that comes out at noon today. ER Ted said, okay, that's not at me. Here we go. Jeff Rodriguez says, at Son of a Tech, behind door 1 is an RX 6600. Behind door 2 is the RTX 3060 light hash rate. What do you choose? The RX 6600. Oh, Techie Rod, thanks for the $5. Super Chat says, local guy selling 2 3060 non-light hash rate for 1200 new. 1200 new for both of them? Yes. 1200 a piece? No. Right? Because you're at... But also, there's no such thing as a 30... Wait, hold on. There's no such thing as a 3060 non-light hash rate. Are they 3060 Ti's? I guess I'm confused there. Thanks for the $5. Some Goblin says, much love. Have a wonderful morning and keep on keeping on. Noodles on you. Do you eat noodles? I haven't eaten noodles. I eat oats. Dennis Matovich says, at Son of a Tech, can you set up a Flux node through Zelcore? From what I can tell, you can do that. Do I recommend that? No, you're going to want it in a VPS. Like DigitalOcean or Vulture, etc. Detroit Iris says, at Son of a Tech, Uni and OK are coming soon. Not available on the TON wallet yet. Also sent an email about Flux nodes to you. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. I will try to check out the emails today. I have been catching up on emails. I've been missing a lot of sponsorships, etc. It's very difficult to keep going with. It's crazy. I'm getting a lot out done, but I feel behind for sure. Oh, hey Kyrect, thanks for the message. Halgear Sather says, at Son of a Tech, will the 1K Flux node pay 7.5% of a block as it does now? We went over it, I believe. There's a video and a clip of it already up on the channel, so go dig through the channel, guys. We're posting we're doing a live stream. We're posting about 2 clips a day along with a dedicated video. So there's hours upon hours of content. I'm trying to basically clip the morning shows in case there's a specific topic that you need information on. We're trying to get it all covered. That's what we're trying to do. Ben's 310, thanks for the $4.99. Besides the 2080 Ti, what are the next two best GPUs in terms of hash per efficiency? Are you specifically talking about Flux, Ben's? Because obviously, like a 2080 Ti is not going to be very good on ETH, but it is currently like the best for power to hash ratio for Flux. The next one down that I would go with would be a 1070. And that is because 1070 Supers, 1070 Ti's, and even 1080s are all around that 40 solutions a second. So the 1070 is the cheapest of that line. But, you know, if you can get a 1070 Ti on the used market cheaper than you can get a 1070, then go for that. Kind of like what happened with the 3060 Ti and the 3070, just to give you an idea. What I want to see here. Did Techie respond as far as that goes? Okay. Altered Component says, ask of a tech, the revision 1 3060 is hash rate. Yeah, is full hash rate if you do the 470.05. You are correct. And that is, yeah, that I still would count it as light hash rate. You also have to set up a rig just for it. But yes, you can bypass it. We have the link in Rocket Chat too for that driver if you guys need it. That being said, yeah, I guess for revision 1, 600 is probably fine, right? That's 600 divided by 50. Is that right? $12 per mega hash. Yep. Ben's 310. Thanks for the $4.99 for Flux. I'll keep saving. Rajiv says, please tell me components to start new rig. $2,000. At this point, like starting a rig is going to be a little bit difficult at $2,000. I mean, you're basically just going to build a gaming PC at that point, and then just mine on the gaming PC. That's because you're going to need motherboard, power supply, CPU, memory, GPU. So you could get a couple. It's hard to give you components, like especially like on a live stream like this, where unfortunately like GPU prices are all over the place, right? I could tell you that the easiest GPUs to find right now are the RX 6600s for the most part. They work good on Flux, Ton, and Ethereum. They're the most efficient that you can kind of buy retail. They're about 500 a pop. If you're going to build a rig and kind of go basic on the motherboard CPU combo portion, then basically you could get up to 3 of the RX 6600s as long as you're waiting for them to go on Best Buy or Newegg drops. And at that point, you could have, you know, I think it's like around 90 mega hash a second on ETH. The other route you could go, though, is if you find an RTX 3090 for a decent price. But you're probably getting a little too close on needing to get the remaining components like the power supply, etc. The hard part about this, though, is like your power supply is going to be a pretty significant cut into the price. Pretty much no way you cut the cookie, because you're going to want good power to supply to the GPUs and upgradability. Minor illusion, I see the new monitor back there. Yes, sir, we do have the new Samsung monitor hooked up, and I like it. It's good. Does what I need it to. It's about $329 at Best Buy. IPS, FreeSync, 4K, 60 hertz. So not anything crazy necessarily. Linus Sinberg says, at Son of a Tech, is there any mining OS that can compare to Hive OS that is open source? Open source, not necessarily, not really. Obviously, it's just built on Ubuntu. If you want to build your own mining OS and your management tools, a lot of people have done it. I'm trying to think if there's one specifically. all the ones that I can think of do have some sort of fee into them. It's just going to depend on the fee pricing, etc. SMOS has been a favorite of a lot of old school guys. It does have better fees. Then outside of that, RaveOS, but that's going to be closed as well. Fees are pretty good if you're mining to 2 miners and so on. So that kind of thing. What are the wattages on the 1070s? 44 souls. Let's do sheets.google.com. I think it's under sheets. Let me see if I got this pulled up. Boom. So Hobbyist Miner does have essentially an overclock settings guide here for Flux. And on the 1070s, power is at 170. I think you could probably tune that down a little bit more. But as you can see, basically dropping below the 1070, you start getting lower hash rate. But going all the way through to, honestly, as you can see, the 1080s, until you get to the 1080 Ti, there's really no benefit in paying for more than a 1070, which is really my only point, right? The benefit to the 1080 is technically it would mine Ethereum better because it has GDDR5X. But other than that, I really wouldn't worry about it until you get to the 1080 Ti that bumps you up into the 60 solutions a second. So, and then like it's pretty much kind of the same story for your 20 series as far as like a 2060 Super or 2060. You might as well get the 2060s instead of the 2060 Super and wait until you, well, I guess not, because some of these are hitting 50. I'm incorrect there. So the Supers do seem to do a little bit better. And there's kind of the list. So Hobbyist Miner has this up. Go check out his channel. He's done some pretty extensive stuff there. I'll go ahead and link it. Shout out to him. Boom. All right. So 170 watts. Check out the news about NCR ATMs. Bitcoin ATMs. I'll take a look at it. Accurate Addicted said, son of a tech, are you planning to release a guide on NFTs after your successful trade on OpenSea? We already have a guide for OpenSea. I think it's literally in search results, how to create NFT. Yeah, I'm like 3rd on search results for it. Go to quiet, you bastard. So, sorry for that, RIP headphone users. There's that, if you want to watch that one. That one's already out. Blizzard says, hello, son of a tech. First time talking here. Do you think it's a good time to sell off mining cards at this point? Yeah, go ahead and sell them to me. Oh, the camera overheated. Overheating camera problems. I don't know what we're going to do about it, but it should be back up in just a second. But yeah, if you want to sell off your mining cards, I'll take them. That being said, you know, a lot of people are trying to sell rigs right now. And they're not getting anywhere near what they're trying to get for them. And so just because you see mining rigs selling for ridiculous or listed for ridiculous amounts doesn't mean you're going to get that. Okay. All right. Gravity says, do you have a Discord? No, we use Rocket Chat. Tactic says, at Son of a Tech, will there ever be a way to see mem temps in Hive? No. Don't even ask. I don't know why this keeps getting asked. It's an NVIDIA driver thing, really, at the end of the day. And it's Linux. And NVIDIA cares about Linux about this much. How about a 3080 Ti for Flux? Yeah, those are what I would like. If you can get them good, they're doing great. Mine are doing like 110 solutions a second on Flux. Savvy for Tech says, ask Son of a Tech, in your listing you show an MSI 1660 Super with GDDR5. I have a GDDR6 in my 1660 Super. I don't know which listing you're talking about. Are you talking about that's not my list, that's Hobbyist Miner's list. Could be a typo. Usually it's the 1660 Ti's that have GDDR5, right? And the Supers have 6. Or was it all the way back to the 1660 base that had 5? One of them had 5. Kyone says, new camera. I need a new camera. This one's overheating all the time. Altered Component says, what camera? It's the Sony a6500. It's a great camera, other than it doesn't really like it. It really doesn't like long-term use. So the live streams, it just starts overheating, and it's not hot in here really at all. So it's just a problem. Jacob Larson asks if we have hash rate results for the 3080 12 gigabyte. Just on ETH, 35 mega hash a second. I don't remember the wattage. Henry J. New York says, ask Son of a Tech, half of my mining profits are going towards paying the electric bill. Would you continue to mine? I would, yes. Al says, would you switch all of your ETH NVIDIA non-light hash rate cards to Flux now? No, right now it's still making more on ETH for the non-light hash rates. The light hash rates I've moved over. Polycraft42 says, ask Son of a Tech, what is still worth it to mine on a 580 and 5700 XT? Ethereum. Still worth it to mine. No reason to pop off of it. Killer65 Malibu Gaming says, ask Son of a Tech, hey, have you BIOS modded your 1660 Super Hynix cards? If not, why? I have. I created the video. That was a long time ago. Uh, 4 months ago. And there's that video if you want it. Al says, at Son of a Tech, would you switch all of your... Okay, we already did that one. Martin says, at Son of a Tech, how do you know it's time to replace the thermal pads on the NVIDIA GPUs and Hive OS? Increase fan speed more than usual. Reduced hash rate. Rajiv Ayer said, thanks for the super chat. 100 rupees. Your PC has the B450 gaming carbon. Okay, you have the motherboard, and then you already have one 3060. Will it give you the same results using more 3060 in Windows? Yeah, that'll support it. Just make sure your power supply is good enough. So let's just, like, a 3060 is going to be around what, 100 and, let's just say 150 watts to be safe, plus system, all of that. Really, once you add a second 3060, I would just prefer that you go ahead and buy a really good power supply, like 1,000 watt, before you start adding in more cards. Platinum rated. Paul Trevisano, hopefully I said that right. It says, at Son of Attack, what's your 2080 Ti solutions and watts? 95 solutions is second at 220 watts, Paul. Ben, let's see what they say over here as far as theirs go. Well, they only have one in here. And it can't be right because it's saying the power limit is at 75. Yeah, that's the one they have listed over here is not correct, but there's no way it's 75 watts. And it looks like my camera is just like having a ton of issues. So I think that we're going to, yeah, internal temp is too high for sure. We are hitting the hour now anyways, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and call it, and it looks like I'll try to figure out what we're going to do as far as the camera goes here in the future for the live streams, because I'd like to continue to stream in 4K, but clearly the camera doesn't want me to. So it is what it is. Make sure you hit that like. Please share the stream out. And thanks for all the support. I do have one more super chat that we do have to address. Sorry. Ben's 499 says, I know Flex is doing the 1K for a Flex node, but are they currently up already because their webpage isn't updated? Thought you would know more information. I don't believe the nodes themselves have